the more you discover, the more you realize your assumptions are not solid. So it's almost like it's a spiritual process. It's not just an intellectual process. Mm-hmm. You know, if you think of art, I think of an encounter with art like meeting a person. When you meet a person, you're like, do I like this person? I don't even know why. I have an immediate dislike, yeah. There's this connection with just the visual, the viscerality of a person. So painting is like that. But as you get to know them better, you build a relationship with it. So why I'm telling you this is there are two aspects to an artwork. There is the conceptual part, which uses your brains, which uses ideas, it's the mind. Mm-hmm. And then there is the more aesthetic, visceral, handmade, sensual part, which uses your senses. Mm-hmm. So what art does is it makes you combine your concept and your senses. So it's like your hands and your head come together to create something magical. So the whole purpose of art is to confuse these dichotomies. So how do you study that? Intellectually, you have to study it by understanding how to see, what is seeing. And you also have to learn how philosophy, conceptual tradition for itself. You have to be a part of the conceptual tradition of understanding philosophy, understanding our relationship with things we don't know about, what we call the unconscious, the subconscious, we call it God, we call it the universe, we call it by many names, the unknowable, the unknown. So you have to have a deep understanding of our relationship with spirituality, with transcendence. So you have to have those practices. And you also need to have rigorous intellectual practices of arguments within the philosophical tradition. And you need to have skill. You have to paint, you have to draw, you have to sketch. So it's like any language. The mistake people make is if you know how to paint, you become an artist. The problem is knowing how to paint is like learning a new language. Right. Learn French. Right. But what's the point of learning French if you have nothing to say? So art is this beautiful blend of the two. So training to be an artist is a very complex journey. It's a journey that involves both your intellect and your senses. There are two journeys I always say. The first story you tell yourself is, who am I? How do I see myself, right? So when you go into that journey, that's an inward journey. And that involves deconstructing the self, removing the layers. By almost saying, Raghava, you are not a father. You are not a son. You're not just a body that's going to die. So you go through levels of deconstruction till you arrive at your spirit. Your idea of self is deeply rooted in the spirit. That's the personal journey. But the public journey, which is how do I perform this spirit in the world, is a construction journey where you construct. Then you use the engineering mind. You perform to the world your spirit. So I see both journeys. There is the performance and the inward. The inward is the reduction. The outward is the construction. To know who you are, you have to deconstruct and construct both, which basically is at the core of any problem or any conflict in the world. It teaches you how to dance with the temperament of the medium. You can't just go and arrogantly go and tell it what to do. Old school masters did that. We play with the medium. We don't tell it what to do. We dance with it. We play with it. And that's why when you view this, even you play with it. There is no serious meaning in it. The seriousness is in the deconstruction of meaning. It is in recognizing that your eye tries to make meaning of what does not exist. And meaning to you, like in existence, is a construction of your own narrative with reality. And it's in that moment that you feel alive. And that is the reason why it's worth living, to feel alive, to grow, to feel vital. Today I asked my daughter to to articulate the power dynamic between the viewer and my new work. My son said it feels playful. He says it feels playful. It feels like I'm playing with it when I look at it. It like makes me mischievous. It's like, oh, it gets me excited about it. And my daughter said it makes me feel a little jealous of it. It is showing off how high or important it is. And I said, see, both are true, because this is very graceful in a very uppity. And I see what you're saying. And that is how you see a painting. It is not trying to understand the puzzle that a painting is the right answer to the puzzle of a painting. It is to find your own journey of inquiry within a painting. I, in my own journey, had first favored the spirit as an ideal artist, as a lover of the world. I wanted to show people that I'm alive, I'm thinking, I'm dreaming, I'm crazy. This exists, And then the world shuts you down in different ways. And then you feel like an imposter. You're like, there's nothing special about me. What ego I have. Then you say, I'm not special, so then let me apply my brains and show that I'm smart. That requires work. So you think, you understand the politics of thought, you get into philosophy, idea world, go to give TED Talks, write books, be an academic journal. I did all of that. And then I still felt like an imposter, because I felt, now I've lost my spirit. Everything is so engineered about me. Where is my spirit? Where is that Raghava, that mischief, the play? I started thinking like all these boxed people. Can't see the world except through, And I was like, no, I need to free up. And now I'm at this space where my intellect and the spirit and the material are meeting. And I'm not thinking now, do I start a company or do I make a painting? Do I make a sculpture? Do I make a painting? I'm like, what feeling do I want to manifest? And who are the best people to advise me on this, to collaborate with? And I work with the best. We aim for global standards and we enjoy the journey, whether it succeeds or fails. And it has always rewarded us tremendously when the magic ingredient X, which is purpose, which is feeling alive, which is letting go of what you think is right, which is letting go of your old self and allowing a new self to emerge by creating this one product that is more superior to every other product in the market, simply because of the love and the care and the attention you have given it. Now, that is a beautiful, hardworking journey, and I love it.